Hi. So I recently was taught how to make some really delicious, but actually really easy bread. And so this will be my second time making it, but I wanted to share it with y'all because it is that good and that easy. So um, to start out, you'll need a few ingredients. So you're going to need flour. You're going to need salt, and you're going to need instant yeast. Um, I know there are different types of yeast. Just make sure yours is instant. And then you're going to need lukewarm water, um, a bowl, and then you're going to need either an airtight container or you can always leave the once you get everything mixed in the bowl. You can leave it in the bowl and just cover it with Saran wrap. Just make sure it's really tight. But I'm going to use this container. So, starting out, well, let's get the cat fur out of my bowl, even though I just washed it. It's lovely having a house full of animals. It really is, though. So, we're going to start out by adding 3 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose white flour. The first time I learned how to make this, we actually used all-purpose wheat flour. And so, if you're wanting a healthier version, wheat flour is definitely a good option. It still works. Just keep in mind it's going to be a little more dense. So 3 cups. So this is a half a cup scoop. And so I'm going to do it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I also left out another important thing you're going to need. I have found this recipe online, not involving a Dutch oven, but the way I learned to make it, and my understanding is it helps it helps the outside get really, really crispy, which is true, is to use a Dutch oven. And so I also have a Dutch oven back here. It doesn't matter what size it is necessarily. I mean, obviously you want it can't be like this big, but use a Dutch oven. Doesn't matter necessarily what kind it is. Like you've got the full cast iron, and then you have like the coated ones, and it doesn't necessarily matter. Um, so that's important. You'll need that. But otherwise, there are versions of this recipe that I have found online, like I said, that don't involve a Dutch oven, and so you can always go that route as well. But this one's involving Dutch oven. So we're gonna do this part today, and then tomorrow I'll come back and make a video showing you guys how to do the second part because you have to let it sit for 12 hours. So we put the 3 cups of flour in. Now we need a half a teaspoon of yeast. So I happen to have a half a teaspoon spoon. And like I said, I have instant yeast. You can find instant yeast in bulk at Sam's. Otherwise, they make the little packets, but I don't think that's instant yeast. So just make sure whatever you purchase or have it on hand is instant yeast. So we're going to put a half a teaspoon. Boop. And then we're going to add 1 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So, oh, you know what? I need this. So this is what our consistency is looking like. And you want to mix it basically until it's blended, and it's not super, super chunky. Now the other cool thing about this is it is a no-knead bread, and so anyone who is watching this who's ever made traditional bread, you have to knead the mess out of it. This is not the case for this bread, which is one of the more appealing, more wonderful things about it. So you just have to mix all the ingredients together, and then once we've got it all blended, and you don't have any dry pieces floating around there like that, obviously this is going to take a few minutes, then we're going to put it in our airtight container or cover it, and then you're going to give it 12 hours to rise. And if it's a little more than 12 hours, that's perfectly fine. But you want roughly around 12 hours. And I'd say that's pretty good. So here's our consistency. It's what it should look like. So it's kind of thick, pasty-ish. So I'm going to take my container. I'm going to pour it out of my bowl and into my container. So once you get it into your container, that's all that's needed. Just cover it. Again, whether it's in a bowl, put saran wrap on it. If you're doing it in a container, put the lid on it. Let it sit 12 hours. We're going to come back tomorrow, and then we get to do all the extra fun stuff. So at that point, if there are different seasonings you're wanting to add, I mean, that's the time when you would experiment, after it's risen. And so we will go over that tomorrow. Just try to be patient for 12 hours, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.